Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the final iRacing video for this third season for 2022. And at the end of last season I tried the Audi in the final race, so I figured that for the end of this season I would try the Hyundai in the final race, since it's always been on the pace regardless of the track throughout the seasons, and the Audi and the Civic competitiveness are generally track dependent. But honestly I struggled. This was a tough track that was new to me, that I needed to learn alongside a brand new car that's much more different to the Civic which I normally drive than the Audi was last season. So it was all just a little bit too much. I didn't really have any confidence, and certainly I didn't have any pace, and that showed in this first race where I kind of just dropped down the order, although it wasn't helped by a few incidents as well. So, given the last few weeks have been a massive struggle and my iRating has dropped significantly, I kind of went into this final round not really caring about it. I think one of my problems is sort of tying my skill to my iRating too much. And the iRating can go up and down quite substantially depending on race results, and sometimes it can not even be your fault. So if I have a bad race, or a number of them, as has been the case over the last few weeks where my iRating drops, I see that as me sort of like regressing, and it makes it hard to look at things objectively. So I'm going to try and care less about it in the future for next season and onwards. But my main focus for this week and these final races of the season was really just making sure that my safety rating remained above 3, so that I could be promoted to a B license next season. So basically I just had to keep it clean, not have any contact, not go off on the grass or anything like that too much. Just have some nice clean races, so I kept my safety rating high to then get my B license for next season, because I'm currently on a C license.
Right side, clear on the right. Car right, clear on the right.
Well, that went about as expected, I suppose.
Car stop on the right.
Let's have a look at this. Lovely. Yeah, well, I knew my iRating was going to take a hit, but at least the safety rating is still over 3. I just don't care about the iRating anymore after the last 3 races. Last 2 rounds, I should say. It's so difficult, though, trying to learn the new car on that track. It's too much. It's amazing what having confidence in a car and using a car that you know can do. First proper lap out, I think it's going to be a 201 easy. 201.4. The optimal is in the 201.2. The optimal could be in... Like, this is where I need to be. No, you idiot! Ah, that was a good lap. That was going to be close to 2 minutes, that, I reckon. Going to be standing at the back. I mean, there's only 9 people in the race anyway. Ooh, I did so badly in the first race. This might be the first time all season, in the final race of the season, where my last race is actually better than my first. So we've got one guy who set a 2:08 lap time and one who set a 2:03. One's unknown behind me. I should at least be able to get back into 6th place, which is where the game thinks I should be. So as you saw, for this second race, I went back to the Civic and immediately got a much better lap time in practice, but I did end up botching qualifying, so I was starting at the back. And I was kind of anxious to get ahead of the first few cars that I knew that I was significantly quicker than. Given that it was such a small grid though, I probably should have been and could have been a little bit more patient, but in the moment I was really wanting to get ahead. I'm so much quicker than Red. I need to get past him quick. Oh my god. Why do I say things? Why do I say anything? Oh my god, that was horrendous. I need to see it. I need to see it. Oh, look at the state of the car. Alrighty. Alrighty, okay. Okay. Well, sixth place might have been possible. Not anymore. Oh my god. Required repairs 40 minutes. Optional repairs 2 minutes. That's the biggest I've ever had. That's it, it's over. That's it. There's no point. The race is 30 minutes long. There's only 27 minutes left. Okay, so we're still okay on the safety. The iRatings took a... The iRating has continued to tumble as it has the last few weeks. But at least I'm still above 3. I need to finish the season above 3 to get a B license instead of my C license. So, final race of the season coming up. I've had 2 bad races. Maybe I can have a good last race for the final race and do the opposite of what I've done in every other round so far, where it's been 2 good races, then a bad race to finish. But at this point, let's just get the season over and done with, shall we? Pulled it out of the bag. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's got to be my best lap so far. 2:01.0. Best clean lap, at least. Wow, I actually am starting 4th. Nobody else is. That's it, qualifying's over. The second ranked driver is behind me. There's big gaps in lap time, even to the top 3. Alright, let's just go for it. This has been a massive improvement, but the race is still to come. Still got to make it through.
Green, green, green.
Alright, away we go. Last race of the season. At least our second rank guy is already ahead of me, so... Civic in ahead. I think that's set at 1:59, so still a lot of time to come, but I just want to have a nice clean final race of the season, honestly. Oh, he's messed it up. Can't believe I'm in 4th. After the way this started. This round, I mean. Oh, he's messed it up as well. 3rd. Holy moly. I'm not catching the top 2, but
You're now in 3rd.
holy moly, that's absolutely fine. I think you've got that Civic behind me that crashed out earlier. Well, made the little mistake earlier. It was a good second, over a second a lap quicker than me on the qualifying, so... Oh, I've messed up anyway. It's alright. I'm really okay with anything at this point. I just want to finish the race well. So, as I've mentioned earlier in the season, the format was different for this season, with fixed setup races every other hour and an open setup race in between. And since my focus has been on the fixed setup races, for the entire season, my plans were to treat the first 2 races as practice, such that my final race would be the best, theoretically anyway, since I'd be at my quickest after having had the experience of the first 2 races. But without fail this season, the final race every week has always been the worst, often to the point where in every round I could have just done a single race and the rest was all basically a waste of time. This time I needed the opposite after the first 2 disastrous races, with it also being the final race of the entire season, in a season which steadily got better and then took a drastic downturn over the last few weeks. I really needed a good result in this final race. So, you know, as you saw, I qualified really well with my best lap and I got a really decent start, and especially taking advantage of a few mistakes from those in front. I settled down into 4th place in the end, but the job wasn't anywhere near done. We still had most of the race still to go, and as you can see in the bottom right, the guys behind me are right there, and they remain right there all the way through the race. The gaps would close up a little bit in some areas of the track where I wasn't quite as good, and then they'd extend out in areas where maybe I was slightly better, but I was never more than 1 to 2 seconds ahead of a group of about 4 cars behind me all the way through the race. So it was quite stressful, quite a bit of pressure, but I'm really happy with how I managed to not get phased by that, especially given the respective iRatings of the guys behind me being much higher than mine. Normally you'd expect me to sort of just lose pace and positions, but I actually managed to hold on until the start of the very last lap, where the guy who'd been around a second behind me throughout the race made a small mistake, and the guy behind him took up the pursuit about 1.5 seconds back. Thankfully, that was enough of a gap that I could still hold on, and I did end up taking a nice 4th place, which was a result and a performance that I think I really needed to end the season, and at least it gives me back a little bit of confidence, and hopefully I'll be able to continue that improvement going into next season. Yes! Oh, I needed that. Oh, I've just noticed all the iRatings of everybody around me as well. All these A license 2.1, 3.2, 3.2, 5.7. And I'm right up there. 4th place, where I qualified. Thanks for all the GGs. Yeah, the last race was good for once. 0 incident points. A good result, 4th place. Holding off all those guys behind. They were always a second behind that group of like 3 cars, and I was able to hold them off. I'm really pleased. I really needed that after the way the end of this season has gone, and finally the last race of the 3 has been the best. Look at my laps. I was a little inconsistent, but I was still getting 201s every single lap. Massive improvement from the first race. And I held on to that 4th place. I can't believe it. That's more like it. End the season on a high. Plus 50. I mean, my iRating is still being trashed from the last few weeks, but at least we've ended the season on a high. 0 incident points. That's the best I've ever done on a race all season. I don't think I've done a race all season with 0 incident points. Massive improvement from the first race. The final race actually was better than the others. Put everything I'd learned. Look at me mixing it in with all these guys. All these iRatings, 2.6. Oh, the safety ratings in the A's And then the iRatings with the 21, 32, 19, 17, 33, 31. And then there's little old me with my C license that I'm going to get a B license next season now. But oh, I needed that. At least we were able to end the season on a high.